Life isn't perfect, and neither are we.
Nope. But we know how to face our fears
And have some fun.
and talk about all the messiest things of life.
Like the messiest things.
Get connected to yourself, get connected to others, and get connected to the life right in front of you.
This is The Connected Life with Justin and Abby.
That's me.
That's you.
And you.
Abby, if your life was a movie, what movie would it be?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Well, they did have a really bad rendition of that game as a movie.
I know.
It was really terrible.
Ironically, I was
and
just
cheesy.
thinking about Street Fighter, the game, because I was looking at your Pac-Man game and then thinking about Street Fighter, and that's all that came to my mind. If my life was a movie,
mine would be Back to the Future. I would be Marty McFly.
Oh, wait, is that...
And I would have a Doc Brown.
Michael J. Fox?
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out if you wanted to be Doc Brown or Marty McFly.
No, I would just want the quirky friend that's crazy.
I'd be your girlfriend in that.
If you're lucky.
Is that like your dream life, you're saying? What's this question?
I don't know. Just the adventure of traveling through time.
Oh, you know what movie
That'd
I'd
be my
pick?
life.
Titanic. I'd love to be on a ship and then sink.
And watch me die at the end.
I'm just kidding.
I'm assuming it's me. It's not Jack, is it? I'll kill Jack myself.
No, Jack has to die so that I can meet you and love and marry you the rest of my life.
Goodbye, Jack.
Jack must die.
Jack must die.
Jack must die.
I should start getting
My
that trending.
dad is
Hashtag
literally
Jack must die.
named Jack. So if you worked on getting that hashtag trending, it would look very suspicious.
Yeah, it would be very much so. So, speaking of family.
You don't have a good tie-in.
I don't have a good tie-in. What are we talking about today?
Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited about this podcast. I'm so excited. A couple, like maybe a month ago, we had a
piddled in my
podcast.
pants a little bit. I was so excited.
You piddler. You pants piddler.
Pants piddling.
I love that word. So a couple of weeks ago, we had the Pepins on and we shared some of their live healing moments.
Yeah.
They were a part of, we do a course every year called Living Fully Alive.
Yep.
And this is the first year we've decided to run it for a second time this year because there was so much incredible breakthrough that happened when we added the immersion program.
Yeah, people globally as a community were getting so much impact and feedback that they're like, oh my gosh, this has to keep going. So
we decided to do
let's
round
open
2.
it up and see what happens.
But what happened is we had the Pepins on, we shared some of their healing moments and it blew up. So many people shared it. So many people messaged me and were like, I'm weeping, crying, because there's something that happens when somebody articulates something that you've experienced or that your heart understands or that you can have compassion for. It opens you up to be able to let that healing and love into yourself. Healing is contagious.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the reasons I think we've had so many podcasts on here, like where you've opened up and allowed people into your healing moments.
And in the moment, actually been authentic and real about my emotions, not just talked about them, but actually allowed them to be on display.
To be present.
As the pain was happening. And we watched as so many people, came back saying, oh, I got so radically touched by that. It ended up giving me the courage or the bravery or the capacity to go into these places.
Or like I felt the love that you connected to and I finally had a light bulb of love for myself. And so I'm really excited because this moment is so powerful. It's about the needing to be perfect, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough,
the fear of emotions,
the fear of people seeing you in your weakness, the places where you've rejected yourself from past history, the places where punishment affected you. And so it's very much what I like to say is one of the concepts that radically changed my life is common humanity.
Yeah.
And common humanity breaks shame. And so shame always is like, you're the only one who's ever thought this. You're the only one who's ever experienced this. You're the only one who's ever been rejected like this. You're the only one who thinks these kinds of thoughts. Shame is always isolating us and separating us. And this is what the connected life is about reconnecting to ourselves and to the people around us, because that's where life flows in that. And so like every human, you're going to listen to this moment. It will wreck you in a good way. Yeah. Like you're going to feel love and you're going to remember the goodness of humanity and that you're a part of it. And you're going to remember everybody goes through heartache. Everybody wants to be loved. Everyone wants to belong. Even the people that we look at and we're like, oh, you're fine and have it all together. There are core human experiences. This is what common humanity is. They're core human experiences we all experience.
1,000%.
And it really helps you to feel like you're a part of something bigger. And it's one of the reasons that I think the immersion program for Living Fully Alive changed. I mean, it literally changed the game. It's like Living Not Fully Alive went on steroids.
Yeah, because it took all of the tools and the process that people were going through individually and now takes them into a collective experience. And it especially shatters any lies or aloneness or hiddenness and says, hey, we're all together and we're going to move through this together. And it gave hope. It infused even a deeper sense of hope watching everyone go through it. I know that a lot of people would, as they're processing pain in general, if you're not processing it with other people, you can feel a little hopeless because you're like, is there any end to this?
Absolutely.
But then when you see other people like
or you feel shame, like, look at all this stuff I never knew. I'm the only person that's this screwed up.
And you go, oh, we're all that screwed up. We're messy. It's humanity.
Yes.
And you just feel loved not only by sharing and letting people love on you, but watching other people share. And then knowing that they were brave and courageous in letting you be part of their moment.
What I love is what the moment we're going to share was a pivotal moment in the course. It was the first time they did a live consulting, and this person opened up, and we'll talk about their story, but for the rest of the course got messages from people about how
over and over again.
Yes, about how this moment opened everyone up, about how it gave them courage, about how it tenderized them, about how it began to create connection for them and their willingness to step out. It gave them bravery.
Yeah.
And so it feels so good. One of the things, like, we made this podcast so that there would be a free resource where people could have as much we want people to have as much access to healing as possible.
Yeah.
And so it makes me so happy that we can take something that happened inside one of our programs and give it away to all of our listeners.
Yeah.
I really, really love that.
Yeah. So to cue this experience up for you really quick, Ryan Opfer is the subject inside of this matter. And Ryan has been on our podcast before, if you're a longtime listener.
Yep.
And he was the guy who helped me record the audiobook version of my book, The Tree of Life. And in that journey, in that podcast, we share about his heart slowly and gradually being broken open in relationship with me, and even my process with him as I went on my journey. And Ryan, when he first came into my office, was deeply shut down to emotions and highly logical and felt just fine about that in life. And no, it's not bad. But he didn't, there was more, and he didn't know. But I promised him, I said, Ryan, I promise you there's more to life. And he gradually went on a journey with me that started cracking that open in a season where his mom was dying of cancer. And he would have potentially missed the moment to be fully present with her as she passed if he didn't start that journey.
Connecting to his emotions.
So when we jump into this here, this is a beautiful example. I talked to him this morning and he was like, I have such a vulnerability hangover from that, but yes, please use it. Anything to actually help inspire people to connect to themselves and to know that there's so much more that life has to offer. You just don't know it. And I thought that was so beautiful, especially hearing him get excited about all the people who have reached out to him to say how profoundly that affected them.
Oh yeah.
Because he's fully sold into the experience now. He's like, emotions are great and don't destroy you. And what you're about to get into, the first portion of this, is him kind of giving a very quick summary
of his childhood
and his journey and what we're about to go into as we see his healing validation process. And as soon as he finishes, there'll be a kind of an abrasive shift so that you guys understand what's happening. And we're
editing cut to
a little ways into Andrew Liam, one of our consultants.
So in the immersion program, there's a weekly live consulting. And so I train people to be consultants. The way that you can be trained by me is you have to start by going through LFA and the immersion program. And then I do small group training. Right. And so Andrew and Ruth are people that lead the live consulting. They've both been on the podcast before. I've trained both of them. They're incredible. So Andrew is leading him through a process, and he'd been validating and talking to Ryan about things. And so we cut into him
connecting him to his heart.
So we cut into him asking a question to Ryan and then Ryan's response.
Yeah. And then we go on that journey of Ryan's authentic response, listening internally, and we watch as self-validation evolves. And
his wife, Andrew
Jamie,
asked his wife to jump in, and she does it like a pro. You even hear his dog. It's cute. Like his dog like whines in when you're like, oh, the dog even feels for you. It's really, really precious. And then what you hear, and this is what I love, is after the clip, you get to hear how people watching it experienced it.
Right.
And this is what's so beautiful about doing it in a group is he did it, and then so many people got to tell him how it impacted them.
Right. And a lot of times, like you said, I had an initial vulnerability hangover after that. And a lot of times we don't hear what people feel about our vulnerability. We'll have just a vulnerability hangover and be like, I can't believe I said that. People probably think I'm stupid or whatever is involved. But he gets an immediate affirmation of, no, let me tell you how that impacted me. It wasn't just, hey, that's cool, you did it. Let me tell you how that impacted me.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is we have 1 week left. We only run this course normally once a year. Now we're doing it twice a year. This will be the last time we run it in 2021. It starts in May. You have 1 week left to sign up. I so encourage you to make the investment. And if you want, we had several people that were concerned about the money last year that we share on a video about what they thought about paying the money for it afterwards. If you want, email us at lfa@stumblconsulting.com. We'll send you the video of what they said about it, why they said it was worth it afterwards. Yeah. We have testimonials from so many, I mean, people, we can't even contain how many testimonials we have this year. So if you want that video, email us or go to justinandabby.com and just sign up.
Yeah. And email us at lfa@stumblconsulting.com if you want those videos. So without further ado, cue Ryan.
So I grew up in a family similar like yours, very religious family, but we shut down all of our emotions. My mom was the one who didn't have any emotions. She mind over mattered it. And she was great at taking every thought captive and every emotion. So what I resonated with you is so much of the things. I don't think I have the emotional intelligence like you are really good at being able to pick those things up. So I didn't relate with that piece. But the part where I shut those down, my emotions don't matter. The short of my story is that until I was 13, I had absolutely no control of my emotions. I didn't fit in our nice, perfect, neat little family, conservative family, Baptist family, because I was completely out of control. And it was hell. It was terrible. But at 13, I got completely healed. I'm still unpacking what happened, but went through some deliverance and completely had 100% control of my emotions. All the hyperactivity was gone. All the manic depression gone instantly. And I made an inner vow and I said, I will never let that rule me again. So, and I thought it was fine. I'm 45 now. I've locked that all down and I thought I could go my merry way as long as I just let happiness was great. And anger only slipped out a couple times where it was like rage. Otherwise, I would say it was just an underbed current of frustration all the time. My wife can support that. So, I think those are some of the things that I was just resonating with.
Yeah. Ryan's heart, there's nothing that you can do to be more or less whole, more or less acceptable. Ryan's heart, we see everything that's going on inside of you and we say, we're so proud of you for how strong you are. We're proud of you for the things that you have accomplished. We're proud of you for how you went from a life where you didn't even want to exist on this planet to a life where you have chosen into connection with your heart and your feelings. Ryan, with your eyes closed, what are you seeing or feeling or connecting to?
I guess I'm seeing the fear of, or the question is, if I let the walls down and I was truly me, with warts and all, the weaknesses that I have, the mistakes that I am prone to make. Would I be accepted? That I am accepted as long as I'm performing. And as long as I can put on that facade. So I think I'm feeling fearful of truly just being who that kid is, of telling that little kid that he can be, that little Ryan can be who little Ryan is. I don't even know if I want to accept who he is. I think that little kid caused me so much pain. I think I'm really afraid of letting him be him again. Even as I'm trying to be kind to little Ryan, I'm afraid of this guy who has nothing together. When I judge other people for being so late and not organized with their life, I'm going to be one of those people because I have no abilities.
So Ryan, with your eyes closed, I want you to see if you can see little Ryan at the time when you had the fountain pen and it got all over the carpet. And I want you to see this little boy, and I want you to tell me what you can see in him.
Well, this is pretty clear. I didn't think I connected it this way, but in the words of Paul Young, piece of shit.
So Ryan, with your eyes closed, do you feel safer with men or women?
With women.
Women. Okay. So with your eyes closed, who's been a really safe woman in your life? Someone that you can trust, someone you know sees the best in you.
Well, I would have been my mom first, but then I would have said it would be Jamie. I don't know if there's any other.
Mm-hmm. So what I want you to see is I want you to picture that Jamie comes into this story and she sees little Ryan. And he just made a mistake, but deep down, he was just exploring and just seeing things. Jamie, would you feel safe enough to talk to this part of Ryan's heart?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's how I want you to do it. I want you to picture, are you a mom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
I
have
want
3 kids.
3 kids. So I want you to picture Ryan at this little age. And I want you to speak to him from that tender place, the place that you would speak to your kids if this happened.
Okay. Little Ryan, that was a kid thing to do. You were just being a kid.
And it's okay to be a kid. It's okay not to know always know what the results of your actions are going to be. It's okay not to know what might happen next, because kids, as a little kid, you don't always think about what may happen next. You're exploring, you're learning. And when we're learning, we make mistakes, and that's okay. It's okay. You're more important than a rug. You're more important than the money it costs to clean up a rug or replace a rug. You are just making a mistake that kids make, and it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be who you are. You are loved. You're not bad. You're loved. You make mistakes, but it doesn't mean that you are a mistake. It's okay.
And Ryan, as she's talking to you, what are you feeling with your eyes closed?
My mind just plays out that that's not true. My adult mind just says it's not okay. That some mistakes are just too costly, and you can't just keep making mistakes over and over and over and over and over again without. At some point, you have to start growing up and learning and not keep doing those mistakes.
And Ryan, with your eyes closed, whose voice is that? The voice that says you can't keep making mistakes. You're not doing the right thing. Who is the voice that was so critical when you were growing?
Well, the word I heard was just accuser.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
Yeah. So I want you to picture that right now, with your eyes closed, there are a lot of people who want to stand with you in this. And so I want you to picture that we're joining this room with you and little Ryan. And we're all standing around you. And all of these people that are with you right now, they don't think you're a piece of shit. They think you're so brave. They think you're so strong. They think you're so good. And they just are with you, and they actually believe in you. They think you're priceless. They think you're better than a rug. They think you're so worth it. Ryan's heart, all of these people are standing with you, and they believe in you. They believe in the creativity that's inside of you. They believe in the ability of you to make a mess and have it be something beautiful. They have an ability to see the creativity that's inside of you, that's supposed to break down walls, that's supposed to make a mess, and people come over and they feel inspired. The part of you that's been locked up for a long time, that's supposed to be set free. The part of you that you've known has been there your entire life, but it's been so scary to touch. It's right there, Ryan. It's right in front of you. But you have to know that it's not these people that are going to be the ones that heal this inside of you. It's your acceptance. It's your self-compassion. It's the part that says that you actually are good, and you have to believe it for you. You have to believe it for you. We believe it. We're standing with you, and we see you, and we care about your heart, and we see this teenager who is actually meant to just be able to express himself, and he just fell out of his own self most of the time. He looked in the mirror and didn't even feel proud of who he was. Yeah. Ryan's heart, the voice of the accuser, doesn't get to define your life anymore, and the voice of critical parents don't either. I'm sorry that you weren't like the people that raised you. Yeah. Ryan's heart, you're a good dad. You're a good husband. You're a good man. We're not afraid of you. We're not afraid of you to touch the parts of your heart and to explore. You can feel it inside. You know there's momentum on your life right now. You know that there's something inside that you're needing to explore, and you're allowed to go after it. You're allowed to touch it. Ryan, we trust you. We trust you. We're not afraid that you're going to make a mess. Jamie's standing with you. Your kids see you and they're so proud of who you are. You have to believe it inside. Ryan, what are you feeling or thinking right now?
I kind of want to ask everybody to say, you guys won't all reject me if I am just a complete mess.
Yeah. No, we're not going to reject you. We're not. This is what I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes for a second. The words of man are not going to heal this place. There's people that have been in your world for a long time who've been believing in you. It's not them that are going to heal this. It's you, Ryan. It's your words. You have to believe it inside of you. You have 100 people right now that believe in you, but it's not going to, it might be temporary. It might hit that spot for a second, but long term, you have to believe. So with your eyes closed, I want you to picture little Ryan. And I just want you to see how he's hurting. And he's actually, the affirmation, the words he's looking for are actually from you. He's looking at you. He's not looking at all of us. He's looking in your eyes. He wants to know that you're the one that believes in him. You have a whole crowd that's for you, but he needs your words. He needs self-compassion. Yeah. Ryan, what do you want to say to this little guy? What can you commit to and believe in right now?
Say, little Ryan, I like you. I like you a lot. And I want to be brave enough to get to know you and who your heart really is. No matter how messy or untogether things are. I want to celebrate that skinny little you. I want to celebrate your wild nature that got you in so much trouble everywhere you went. I accept you, little Ryan. You're great. And I promise to be your greatest cheerleader. To cheer you on. To believe in you. To not judge you and to not condemn you. I'm going to give you space to fail and fail again. I give you space to look dumb over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm going to have patience with you. And I'm going to be compassionate to your heart when you try and you can't figure it out. We'll just take the time. We have all the time in the world.
All right, what are you feeling as you're saying those things to yourself?
Well, I was feeling scared to say it. I'm feeling hopeful that I can start telling myself, start changing my thoughts and start saying things that don't beat up this little Ryan anymore. I feel like maybe for the first time it's more than just a nice idea. It's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be brave enough to see who he is. And maybe a little bit of the first time, maybe I won't care what you all think. Maybe I can just accept him. And my opinion of him is what's going to count. And maybe someday I'll get to the point where I can receive Papa God's love for him. But maybe I can accept him first.
Dang, Ryan. That's so good. And here's what I want you to know. When you spoke to yourself, I could feel it. I believed it. It didn't feel like bullshit. It felt real.
It's really hard to say it because it was really scary to say that. I think I'm needing my emotions to back me up.
Ryan, here's what I want you to know is you're on the journey. You're not behind. You're not doing the wrong thing. You're choosing in. You've had so many words that have been critical to you for such a long time. It's hard sometimes to believe the opposite. And it's hard to believe that your words matter as much as all the words that have kept you down. Right? Yeah. And you're on the journey, and it's steps. Every time you take the right steps again, your heart just needs compassion, safety.
Yeah, I feel a lot lighter, a lot more hopeful. Like that wasn't just one layer of the onion. That got through quite a few layers.
Yeah. So can I ask you to do one more thing?
Yeah.
There are a lot of people inside of this call that have not ever seen a man or a dad who actually chooses to love himself. And they have been affected by that in so many ways. Sometimes people have had neglect or physical abuse. Sometimes people are wishing that their parents were more abusive because it meant that they cared. Some people are just wanting someone that is in their corner and championing like with them. And so what I'm wondering is, would you be willing to speak as a father to these people that have had wounds in those places?
Yeah. I can try my best.
What I want you guys to do is, if you're ready to receive in this place, I just want you to put your hand on your heart. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to let in Ryan's words. Let them touch the fatherless place inside of you. And Ryan, whenever you're ready, whatever comes to your heart.
Every heart, every little child, every little kid that's been cowering and hiding, I just call you out from hiding. You don't need to hide anymore. It's a safe place for you, a safe place of acceptance. This is a safe place where your heart has been longing for and has been waiting for, has been yearning for, crying out for. And as a father, I just speak to you and say, you are so amazing. You're absolutely wonderful. Every piece of you. that even in a broken world, when you hear the words that you were formed in your mother's womb, and you say, well, yeah, that can't be true, that this world is broken and I've been given the worst pieces of being formed, that those things, even in a broken world, are designed so perfectly for you, so perfect fit for what this world needs, for what your community, your friends are crying out for. You are designed in such a special way. You are powerful. Your voice matters. Who you are matters. You're extra special. And there's loving arms that want to wrap them around you. I want to hug you to let you know that you are loved, that I love you, that your heart is special and will be cared for. And I want to just give you the courage to know that when you step out from that hiding, that you won't be abused, you won't be hurt, you won't be beat. That as you come out and you look for that love and acceptance, it will be around, it'll be surrounding you. You will receive it. And that comforting blanket will come around you and love you in all the ways you need. That the comforter is here to walk you through this journey. You're not alone. You're not alone. The world's waiting to see who you are.
So if you're still receiving, you can stay in that place. That's totally okay. Some of you, this might be the first time that you've had a safe dad actually talk to you. So you can take that in. But what I was hoping is, are there a few of you that can tell us what did it mean to have Ryan share so openly, vulnerably? You can just unmute yourself and jump in.
Can I share too? I just want to say thank you. I've never seen my dad be weak. And seeing that, and it's like realizing I never had permission to be weak because I never saw it. And it just feels like a lot of permission to be able to show up, to come out from behind the wall and just be as I am. And so thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
I can't believe anything I said would affect you guys.
Can I share a sec?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your story, and also that feeling of having to be perfect and not make a mistake, and and just living in that. Just hearing your story resonated.
Could I say something too?
Yeah.
Ryan, I was like sobbing the whole time you were speaking because it resonated so much with me, and I just felt like this deep connection with what you were saying, as a pastor's kid myself, and just that that expectation of like being perfect, and especially you mentioned like you being like in a Baptist community, and that's kind of like how it was for me too, just very conservative, and just there's so many expectations and of being like, a good little kid and being okay all the time. And so it just, everything you said, I was just like sobbing through the whole thing, and the words you spoke were so powerful. So thank you so much.
I just want to say, right, your bravery to go to that place in your heart and do that work. Somehow in doing that, it releases love and healing to other people. Like my father and stepfather would never do their own work. They would never face their stuff, which then basically leaves their children to carry the weight of, I don't know, that pain. So to have you do that, I mean, I'm older than you, and it's great. It's just beautiful what Jesus does, because it speaks healing to my heart that you there's a healing that happens as you go on your journey. It heals. So I just thank you. I don't know how to say that, but
So let's
Ryan,
have Kelly and Mark share, and then we'll wrap up from there. But Susie, thank you for sharing.
Ryan, I put it in the chat earlier, but I personally am struggling with a lot of disassociation from a lot of this. But I want you to know that your words are impacting another generation. Yours too, Jamie. I have 2 little kids, and I struggle with massive control issues for myself, and it's been like a lifelong thing. But as you're talking, all of a sudden I'm seeing, I put this on my little girl. Like, I expect her to be quiet when I want her to be quiet, or when I'm struggling with my sensory processing stuff, I expect her to sit there, or, I'm constantly saying, please calm down, please be quiet, please don't do this, please don't do that. And all of a sudden you start talking, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of shame, and I'll deal with that. But there's also a piece where what you said just resounded with me. And Jamie, when you said, kids are supposed to make mistakes, I was like, okay, I can change the way I approach my kid. I can change the way she sees herself, because Ryan's shown me and given me the opportunity to see it from a different perspective. So thank you. Know that you're not just impacting people on this call, but you're impacting generations to come with just the few minutes you took to share your life with us.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I just love it so much.
It's cool because listening to it, I get impacted.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. There's little corners of your heart that love gets into more and more when you hear love. Vulnerability opens up the human souls, and our ability to connect with each other, and our pain brings so much healing.
Yeah, it's so good. So everybody, if you want to go on a deeper dive in your own personal process and engage that on a week-by-week process yourself for the next 14 weeks, there is 1 week left for signups with Living Fully Alive, and our immersion program is what you want to participate in.
Yeah, that's where you get to see the live moments
and experiences. And you can go to justinandabby.com. That's justinandabby.com.
Wait, I have a couple questions people always ask. Yeah. Can you do this if you live overseas? Can you do this if you work? Can you do this? It's online, and you can watch it anytime.
You can be part of the live experiences or the replays, because 24 hours after they happen, they're uploaded. So you'll never have to miss out on the experience.
And then there's a Facebook group that you get to talk through all the things that are happening. So you can still be connected to the community, even if you don't watch them live. You can do this from anywhere that you want to do this. There is, if you've done LFA before, but you want to be a part of the immersion program, email us and let us know. We can get you set up for that.
And you can email us at lfa@stumvalconsulting.com. And
I wanted to share just one message that I got. Because this is the beautiful results of this. Somebody messaged me, I just want to let you know how incredible the Reading Living Fully Alive group is. So a bunch of people found each other in
Uh-huh.
Reading, and we've had people come visit to different places. We had people move to be closer
Yeah,
to people
to be
they
closer
met
to community. Yeah.
through Living Fully Live, which is amazing. But this says, I wanted to let you know how incredible this Reading Living Fully Live group is. Ryan and Jamie hosted an in-person heart sync, which in the immersion program, they have heart syncs every week, at their house last night with about 9 of us here. They are wanting to do this every other Tuesday to keep this community going. So last night I shared the gist of my situation with everyone there. After tons of validation, they gathered around me and prayed. It wrecked me. Never have I felt so accepted and loved and safe in a group of people in my entire life. I know I'd never be able to be here without this community. This is how much LFA is changing all of our lives. Cry face, cry face, cry face.
Cry face. That's
So
cool.
we hope that you enjoyed that moment. We hope that you share it with other people that you know are struggling with perfectionism or parenting or
not having emotions.
I loved so much. Like one of my favorite comments at the end was the woman who was like, oh, by hearing about you, it humanized kids and it's helping me treat my children. It's helping me change my ideas about my kids.
Yeah.
And that we hear that feedback all the time, that it changes family systems. So
That's so good. All right. Remember, rate, review, subscribe, and share.
JustinandAbby.com.
.com.